From the very beginning, 100 years ago, radical avant-garde, and this was all theorized by Theodor Adorno, distrust beauty. Beauty became ideological, a conformist idea. The idea is that the work of art should not reflect reality in a realist socialist way, but somehow present the truth about our predicament, and that you can only do it in a non-aesthetic way, in this sense of avoiding beauty. It must be in music, atonality, dissonance, painting must not be beautiful, and so on and so on. I think that maybe today this logic is coming to an end. Why? Because this very subversive model of dissonant music, ugly paintings, it's fully appropriated. Go to some galleries today, big commercial galleries, and you know what you find them? All those scandals you remember, like a statue of Christ in a bottle of urine or whatever, dead cows exposed there and so on. It's all this type of subversion is already fully integrated. What I think we should rehabilitate today is, it will sound horrible, almost proto-fascist, not beauty, but good craftsmanship. That fascinates me. You know, it's not just you have an idea, you put there a body of a dead cow in urine, oh my God, subversive. Art is a hard work. You have to study it, to learn how to do it, and so on and so on. Craftsmanship, that's what I admire today. That's maybe even the truly subversive thing. Not these instinctual geniuses and so on, subversion. Maybe the most subversive thing today is to be truly disciplined and do your hard work. You know, once I was improvising very well for 20 minutes, and then she told me, it's wonderful, Slavoj, but you know, there was something wrong with a light, then let's leave it. Fuck you in all positions, you know. Somebody counted it and said, Zizek gave a 5-minute interview, he did this 80 times, you know, and so on. I know the story, yes. And people are already saying that it will be interesting to watch me and Peterson, because he's a total obsessive goal, and so on, I will be doing all my sniffing and waving there. The reason I accepted it, one reason was also not to appear coward. He was challenging me and people were already saying, oh, are you afraid? The second reason is, it's more tricky, political. I want to address people who may be attracted by him, who are sick of stupidities of political correctness, and tell them something like, are you tired of stupidities of political correctness? Don't go to him. Peterson, vote Bernie Sanders. That's my message. It's pornography.
Yeah, these are the world's most viewed categories. Like, I immediately thought of you, like, you know...
lesbian?
Lesbian in the United States.
Really?
America, yes.
Why? And what are you Russians? Normal fuck what?
Hentai.
What is hentai?
Hentai is Japanese cartoons, basically.
Yeah, the cartoons, of course. You watch this.
I'm shocked to know this, yes. And
But these are pornographic, live, like...
China. Right, Russia, China, and the so-called, you know...
Dirty. Saudi Arabia, Egypt, also lesbian. Who are the normal people? The green ones.
I'm not sure there are any more normal people.
What is this?
Lesbian? I think
The ebony is blacks, or what?
Ebony is blacks.
Fuck
Ebony
this.
is
What is...
Okay, so MILF it stands for...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Indians.
Indians.
Because I envy Macron, you know, I find MILF quite attractive. Isn't a dream of all of us when you were in a high school to be seduced by a nice teacher and so on? MILF, nothing against. On the one hand, we live in hedonist societies. You want to have sex with dogs, triple sex, trigender, you do whatever you want. But at the same time, Was sex ever more regulated in, yes, but how do I do it so that I don't offend you if I want to seduce you? You know, all these politically correct rules. And for somebody who studied psychoanalysis like me, this is easy to account for. How precisely this radical permissivity, dedicate your life to pleasures, do whatever you want, has to end up in detailed control and regulation. Let's say you are a woman, I'm a man, we meet in a bar, let's do it. That it must be somehow recorded, that we both agree. Either on camera, we sign it and so on. I like Stalin would be jumping out of pleasure in his grave, like, you know, everything has to be recorded by the state and so on, you know. So it's the rule, I'm not kidding. It's the rule that, and they even use such a ridiculous term, which is basically, feminists agreed with me, so humiliating for women. They say that both partners must, they use this term, not me, it's in the law, enthusiastically affirm that they want to make love. But if you know how women are, and also men, I mean, it's very humiliating for, let's say a woman wants to sleep with you, but it's usually done in a discreet way. What should the woman say? Yeah, fuck me, please. It's extremely humiliating, you know. I mean, this is the paradox of political correctness, no? What went wrong with Marxist reversal of Hegel? I think the greatest event in the history of philosophy is Kant, Hegel, and then we still live in that shadow. And I think that both Marx, Freud, Heidegger, all that stuff, it's still post-Hegelian space, but we didn't yet come to settle our accounts with German idealism. Maybe the new phenomenon now will move us out of Hegelian space of subjectivity. That's why I'm so interested about this idea of Neuralink, the idea of directly wiring our brain, connecting it with the computer. What does this mean for the status of subjectivity? Are we still in the space of Hegelian dialectics or not? Sorry. Cultural capitalism. How capitalism itself needs more and more the cultural sphere in the broader sense. Internet, movies, amusement, games, to reproduce itself, and at the same way, even high art gets included into the circulation of capital. My favorite example here is high art, biennales and so on, Venice Biennale. They all talk about anti-capitalism. Usually they justify themselves, how can modern art avoid commodification? But they're at its purest part of capital's reproduction there, and so on and so on. Japan, they are much more cash-oriented. You can have banking card for cash, but in the stores, they don't like you paying with credit card.
Exactly, that's what's going on in Moscow.
And I am an old gangster guy. I prefer it, because credit cards, they identify you.
Yes.
I want to be free to cheat.